Welcome to a stateroom tour of stateroom 2551 on board Disney Wish. I like to start my room tours by giving a little bit of perspective about where the room is on the ship. So I'm going to start in the forward elevator bay on deck 2. So right here, we're in the forward elevator bay. And I'm not going to cut this clip, but I am going to walk directly to the stateroom 2551. And we're here. So there's something really special about this stateroom, and it's actually not in the stateroom at all. It's just down this hallway. So the elevator bay is just down here, just out here. And then if you walk across the hallway and to the right, that is the accessible entrance to the Walt Disney Theater. And this is the nearest accessible restroom. I don't think it's necessary to do a tour, but it is a nice accessible restroom, and it's clean and it smells nice. But let's actually get into our stateroom tour. Got my Keep the World card. I'm gonna tap in. I come right in, and look!
Hey!
I've got people!
Yay! This room comes with a Sarah.
That's nice, I didn't have to bring my own. So we'll do a quick overview of the room first. Just kind of pan around. This is an inside stateroom. All right, so starting here on the back of the door, we are Assembly Station H, which is deck 4. And then here is our light switch. They give you a card to help you keep the lights in the room lit. And of course, you've got your light switch. And then to the left, we have the first closet. When you open the door, the lights turn on. I think it's when you open that sensor there. We've got our life jackets up here, some hangers. If you need more, you can ask for more. And then space for shoes. Coming this way, we have the desk/vanity with a really nice bright mirror. Something I want to note about this room, there's plenty of lights, lots and lots of lights, which I appreciate. I have all of them turned on right now to the brightest they can be because this is an inside stateroom and I like bright light things. Mom can't see very well. She also likes light. Back to the desk, we've got a drawer, and in here you have some really important things. This is my favorite type of pen. I will be taking this home with me. And then these are your continental breakfast room service menus.
And we'll be filling that out.
Yep, we're gonna be filling this out every night, requesting breakfast for the next morning. Next over, we have a drawer with a hair dryer and then a hot tool mat, and then, I don't know, looks like a menu with phone numbers on it in case of emergency. Yeah, emergency contacts. And then down here, we have our cooler drawer. I won't call this a refrigerator. Sticking my hand in, it does not feel any cooler than room temperature. So I don't even know that I feel comfortable putting food in there. If nothing else, it will serve to keep cans or bottles from clattering against each other. We've got a nice big desktop, a little poof type stool, our trash can, and then some really shallow shelves here with the mounted phone. Thank you, Disney. We've got a tissue box. There's 3 total shelves. And then down here, we have some electric outlets. I'll let you do the counting yourself. Next to the desk, we have our couch, which folds out into a twin-size bed, currently being modeled by our lovely Anthony.
Yeah, here, Anthony for scale.
How tall is Anthony?
5'10".
And it's just long enough.
Yep.
I do think it's kind of a pretty blue.
It does look nice. It would look a lot nicer if I wasn't in it, but...
We have a little table, which I like because it actually will slide under the couch, and then the table itself will fold over the couch. So you can kind of tuck it away when you're not using it, so it's not in the way. I like the artwork in here because we have Cinderella on this wall,
I really like that one.
And we have Cinderella on this wall. I really like it too. They do match. So we have a Cinderella room, and where I'm standing, I can tell that the gold is kind of glittery, which makes me really happy. Over here we've got our TV, and I'm actually gonna zoom back out again because I don't know what anybody else thinks. I think this is a silly place for a TV.
I think it moves though. Doesn't it pull out an angle?
I don't know.
Maybe it does.
But I'm just thinking, the people in the bed have to kind of crane their heads to look. If the person on the couch was sitting facing the bed,
it doesn't come out.
It only tilts or like angles.
So you can do that.
Maybe 4 inches.
Because I feel like for the people on the bed, it makes sense to put it on this wall. And for the people on the couch, it makes sense to put it on that wall. But there's artwork there. So they put it on the only blank wall in the room.
And they, instead of centering it, if they'd have put it, you know, I don't know. If they
It's
put it
just
further
kind
in
of
the
odd.
corner, then the person on the couch could have put their head down here and watched TV.
Yeah, we don't have the bed that comes down from the ceiling. So
There's no reason for it not to be there.
it's just kind of strange. But, you know,
I
they did their
wonder-
best.
This room seems shorter, and so I wonder if there's no dropping bunk on any of the rooms in this room.
On deck
What do you
2?
think?
Well, we are on deck 2, and this is the deck where they have the kids clubs.
You're right.
And I know on the older ships,
Deck
deck 5 with all the kids clubs is shorter, and I don't know if they continued that theme with this ship, but I mean, I'm 5'6", and just standing up, I can touch the ceiling, so it does feel sort of short. I'm not sure what this is on the wall, not an idea. I do really like the amount of space I have between the bed and the wall over here. I like that. And then we've got another closet over here, which I like. I really like they have this cord here, which keeps this door from banging into the wall, which I like. And I love all of the shelves and the safe. We found that. I like that it's far away from the door, actually. We've got our nightstand with a drawer, and there's nothing in my drawer, and another couple of outlets. We've got some light switches, and then we have these 2 lights here. These work using these knobs. You can twist. And the twist works as a dimmer switch, so you can make it bright or dim or turn it all the way off. So I do like that. And of course, we've got our lovely Disney bed. I do think the Disney bed is so comfy, and the Disney pillows are so magical. I miss the old blankets because they're blue, and I just think this is kind of, it's gonna show dirt, you know? I just don't see them lasting as long. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Over here, we've got the same lamp and reading light, and then several more outlets over here, and a drawer, and another closet. This one has the same cord at the top to keep it from breaking the mirror back here, and some hangers. It is like 2 hanging rods, so this is for your short hanging clothes. And on the back of the bathroom door is where we have our full-length mirror. And again, I think this is put in a really silly place because there's not as much space here as there is here. I think it makes more sense to have put, or it would have made more sense to put the mirror here, but it's fine. We've got a nice hook on this tiny short wall, and our thermostat, and our bathroom. We do not have a split bathroom in this stateroom. So there's always a step up, a good step up into the bathroom. We've got some pretty tile, a tub shower combo with a glass door as opposed to a shower curtain, which I like. And it swings in. It's got the little bumper at the top to keep it from banging into the wall. You have your cord for your clothesline, a nice handle, some shelves in here with your shampoo, conditioner, and body wash products. You got your handheld shower and your tub filler, which is nice. Of course, you got your toilet An itty bitty sink and countertop with a sharps container, that's helpful. And some shelves up here on the wall, and then there is some shelf space down there. And I'm not sure, yeah, I don't think that opens. So I think that's all the storage that you get in the bathroom. And the towel rods are really, really, really small. So I don't know where you put your towels to dry them, because I don't like to double my towels up when I put them out to dry. So we do have a night light. That's nice. And of course, the big light. So that's our initial tour of this stateroom. I'm not going to close this video out yet. I'm going to save the ending of this video for the last day of our cruise when we give you our final thoughts on the stateroom, because we're going to have 3 adults in the stateroom for 3 nights. We're going to see how we feel about it. I'm not a big fan of inside staterooms, mostly because I think they're dark, but as light goes, I feel like this room is really well lit. So I appreciate that. I think there's a lot of storage in here. I like the layout of this room. This is not the standard layout of most inside staterooms or most staterooms on Disney cruises. So this one's kind of an alternative stateroom layout. So we're gonna reserve our final thoughts for the end of this video, and we will talk to you in 3 days for us.
Okay.
Good morning. We're back in Port Canaveral, as you can see from our bridge cam, and I wanted to wrap up our room tour because we have some final thoughts. I'd like to let you know what we thought of the room after we lived in it for a little while. This room we only lived in for 3 days because it was a 3-night cruise, but we have some thoughts. The big bed, very comfortable. These lights here, dimmable. Also the ceiling lights, dimmable. Also this light, dimmable. And this reading light here, not only can you like turn it this way, but it can come out that way too and go all the way in. So that is like really, really nice. Anthony, any final thoughts?
I thought this was comfortable for 3 nights. I couldn't do it for a week. But I'm larger than the bed.
Yeah, we did get you a mattress topper for
which was
that.
really comfy.
And that helped a lot, I think.
But it's a little cramped.
The room?
Yeah, like right here.
Yeah.
Like it's a little cramped in this one spot. But I think if there's a kid in this bed instead of me,
Yeah.
it's not a problem.
Yeah. Mom thinks that we could have, or Mom thinks that a family, 2 parents and a kid could stay in this room for a really long voyage because there's lots of storage. There's cubbies here, and there's hanging there, and then there's more hanging by the door. There's not a lot of drawer storage, but there's a lot of like hanging and cubby storage. The bathroom is not a split bathroom, so it makes it, a little more difficult to travel with 3 adults in the same stateroom, but for 3 nights we were fine. And right across the hallway is that accessible bathroom that we used a bunch, and then of course 1 deck up is deck 3, and there's a bunch of restrooms on that deck as well. None of the outlets we used were broken. None of the lights we used were broken. I'm trying to think.
I think the cooler even kind of kept things cool.
Yeah, day 1 we got our platinum gift, which we chose the bottle of wine, and I put it right in the cooler, and it kept it cool. It was by no means cold, but it was not, room temperature.
But that drawer is awkward.
The drawer is awkward, and it's kind of hard to put much of anything in it. I don't know. I don't know why they had to fix something that wasn't broken, but it seemed fine to me. So anyway, I would stay in this room again. I'm not generally a big fan of inside staterooms because I like windows, because I like the light, but I didn't have the light problem in this room because there's so many lights. There's the ceiling lights, there's the artwork light up here, and then there's the 2 extra lamps beside the bed, and then the vanity mirror, which is really bright. So I enjoyed this room. I would stay here again. I really like the location on the ship, because getting back on from Castaway yesterday was really nice because we didn't have to wait for an elevator. We're up 1 floor and then just like around the corner. So I liked it. I would stay here again.
I thought it was great. I would like a room with a window next time because I would like to see out, you know?
I would
But
not want to make a long trip in this room. I think a family with a small kid could, or a couple, or certainly a solo traveler could easily do it.
Mm-hmm.
But this inside stateroom is not for me. Traveling with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3
Well-
nights, fine.
We did it because it was cheap, you know, and I chose this room because it had that alternative layout, which I actually enjoy
Yeah. I did
more
too.
than the normal layout. So, all right, we're getting ready to get off the ship. We're going to go get coffee.
Yeah.
But that's going to wrap up our room tour. So thanks for watching. You guys will see us in another video really soon. Bye.
Bye.